Namaskar. I am Mosmi Kakyal from KB number 1 Jhansi. I am PGT Economics. Today, I welcome you all in our session of economics. Let's start the discussion. So, today our topic is consumer behavior. Now, as we see this topic, the first question which comes to our mind is, what is this? Who is a consumer? A consumer is the one who consumes goods and services. But why he consumes goods and services? For the satisfaction of his wants. A consumer is the one who consumes goods and services for the satisfaction of his wants, because every individual has some wants, some needs, and to satisfy those needs, to satisfy those wants, he consumes goods and services. Therefore, a consumer is the one who consumes goods and services for the satisfaction of his wants. And this process in which a consumer consumes the goods and services is called consumption. This whole process is called consumption, where a consumer consumes goods and services. Okay, so let's start our topic of today, that is consumer behavior. Now, when you know what is a consumer and how he satisfies his needs by the consumption of goods and services, now a question arises, what is consumers equilibrium? कौन सी स्टेट पर एक कंज्यूमर इक्विलिब्रियम पे आता है? So a consumer is in equilibrium when he is able to attain the highest possible satisfaction out of his consumption. जो भी वो कंजम्पशन कर रहा है, जो भी वो कंज्यूम कर रहा है गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज को, जब वो अपनी हाईएस्ट सेटिस्फेक्शन अटेन कर लेता है गिवन the income of the consumer and the prices of goods and services at certain point. Why? Because a consumer has certain income. हर कंज्यूमर की, हर एक इंडिविजुअल की एक इनकम होती है, and when he goes into the market he has some prices of goods and services. So according and basis of these prices of goods and services and the income of the consumer, he consumes goods and services. And when he attains the maximum possible satisfaction, he is called at the point of consumer's equilibrium. हम कह सकते हैं now the consumer has attained equilibrium. Now, to study consumer equilibrium, we have two approaches: cardinal utility approach and ordinal utility approach. So first, let's study the cardinal utility approach. Cardinal utility approach was given by Alfred Marshall, and according to approach, in terms of quantity, in terms of number, जो भी सेटिस्फेक्शन हमें मिल रही है, हमने जो भी गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज को कंज्यूम किया, उसके बदले में हमें जो सेटिस्फेक्शन मिल रही है, उस सेटिस्फेक्शन को हम नंबर्स में 1 2 3 इन नंबर्स में हम मेजर कर सकते हैं. दिस इज सेट बाय दिस अप्रोच एंड द यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट इज कॉल्ड यूटिल. यूटिल इज द यूनिट ऑफ मेजर. अगर हमें किसी गुड्स एंड कंजम्पशन से गुड्स की कंजम्पशन से अगर हमें 1 या 2 number of utility attain हुई है, then we can say that I have attained 2 number of utils. 2 utils is the utility which I attain from the consumption of 1 good or 2 good. Okay, so this is set by this approach. Now, studying consumers behavior from the point of cardinal utility approach, first we need to know some concepts like utility, marginal utility, and third we have total utility. Okay, so first is utility. What is utility? Utility is the want, satisfaction, power of a commodity. किसी भी commodity को जब हम consume करते हैं, वो हमें satisfy करती है, वो हमारी desire को fulfill करती है. So that power in the commodity is called its utility. किसी भी commodity में ये power होती है कि वो हमें satisfy करे, हमारी want को, हमारी desire को fulfill करे. That's why that commodity has some power, which is called utility. So in simple language, when you are asked what is utility, you can simply say the want, satisfaction, power of a commodity is called utility. So utility is the want, satisfaction, power of a commodity. Second, we have marginal utility. We also denote it as MU. So what is marginal utility? It is the additional utility you get from the consumption of additional unit of the commodity. देखिए, first unit of commodity जब आपने consume किया, तो आपको एक level of satisfaction मिलेगा. जब आपने second unit of commodity किया, consume, उसके बाद आपको एक certain utility, एक certain satisfaction फिर से मिलेगा. For example, पहले consumption पे आपको 10 utility मिली. Next consumption पे आपको 20 utility मिली. So, addition to this utility is पहले 10 था और फिर 20 हो गया, तो कितना एडिशन हुआ? 10 का. Additional utility is when you are asked marginal utility, you can also remember that term. So marginal utility is also called the additional utility by consuming an additional unit of the commodity. Okay. To understand it further, we have total utility. Total utility is the total, means the whole utility, the total utility you get by the satisfaction, this consumption of the whole units of the commodity. जितनी भी units commodity की हैं आपके पास available, जब आप उस सबको consume कर लेते हो, तो end में जो total utility सबके consumption से आपको मिलेगी, that is called the total utility. Means say 1 unit commodity की consumption करने पर आपको 10 मिला, then utility. Then second पे आपको 20 utility मिली, third पे आपको 24 utility मिली. So this is, so यहाँ पर आपका total utility क्या होगा? That will be this plus this plus this. कितना addition हुआ? यहाँ पे 10 का addition हुआ and यहाँ पर 4th का addition हुआ, 4. So what is your total utility? Total utility is the sum of the marginal utilities. सब marginal utility को जब आप add कर देते हो, तो आपको total utility मिलता है. And what is marginal utility now? Now, if you have understood what is total utility, now you can form the formula of marginal utility. So, marginal utility is equal to total utility of nth unit. Nth unit is the unit in question. हम जिस unit की consumption की बात कर रहे हैं. Marginal utility of nth unit is the total utility of nth unit. उस point पर आपकी total utility क्या है? Minus the total utility of n minus 1. N minus 1 is the previous one. Okay, so previous commodity consumption पे आपको क्या total utility मिली, और जो unit of commodity in question है उसकी consumption पे आपको क्या total utility मिली, उन दोनों का जब हम difference लेंगे, that difference is called marginal utility. We will study it with the help of a table so that you will understand the real relationship between marginal utility and total utility. That will be really helpful to understand these concepts. Now, say for example, the units in question which we are consuming of commodity X, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, ये किसी भी commodity से commodity X की consumption से हम consume कर रहे हैं 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 commodities we are consuming of X. Now, by this consumption, we are getting the total utility. What is the total utility? Say it is 10, 18, 24, 26, 26, and then again 24. Now you will see how we calculate marginal utility. The marginal utility for X, it is total utility of n minus total utility of n minus 1. Means आप जिसकी यूटिलिटी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी, उससे प्रीवियस टोटल यूटिलिटी क्या थी उसके साथ आप उसको माइनस करेंगे. सो हियर वी हैव 10, तो इससे प्रीवियस क्या है, कुछ नहीं है, so the marginal utility will be 10. Now here we have total utility 18. We will subtract it from 10. 18 minus 10, that will be 8. Then 24 minus 18, that will be 6. 26 minus 24, that will be 2. 26 minus 26, that will be 0. See, at every level, we are subtracting the previous utility from the utility in question. So now we will subtract 24 from 26 and it will give us minus 2. Now here you can see a beautiful relationship between, a very interesting relationship between total utility and marginal utility. See, total utility is increasing till this point. Total utility बढ़ रही है. पहले first consumption पे ये 10 थी, second consumption पे 18, third पे 24, fourth पे 26 and fifth पे again it is 26. So it is increasing, but it is increasing at decreasing rate. पहले इसका इंक्रीमेंट कितना था, 10 से 8, then 8 से 6, 6 से 2, and then 2 से 0. Means total utility is increasing, but at decreasing rate. At every consecutive commodities consumption, it is decreasing. So marginal utility, you can see it is falling. It becomes 0 and then it becomes negative also. यहाँ पर negative हो गई और total utility has fallen 26 से 24. So this is the relationship between marginal utility and total utility. Total utility increases but at decreasing rate to a certain point, attains its maximum point. When it is maximum, marginal utility is 0, and when it starts falling, marginal utility becomes negative. We can also show it with the help of a diagram. I hope this is understood. The diagram will clarify this concept more. Now, here, when you draw a diagram, in economics, diagram has certain importance and tables also. So when you draw a diagram or when you prepare a schedule, be very careful. Always mention your axis, and here we take quantity. What are you taking on each axis? Always write that quantity, and here we are taking marginal utility and total utility of commodity X. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So utility is, take the difference of 5. We are taking the difference of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35. So according to the table, जब हमने first consume की थी, हमारी total utility was 10. First consumption पे total utility was 10 and the marginal utility was also 10. So we take a point over here. See, this is the first point. At the second consumption, our total utility was 18. So it is somewhere here. Okay. At the third point, our total utility was 24. Somewhere here. At the fourth point, total utility was 26. Take it as here. At fifth also it was 26, and sixth it was 24 again. Okay, so you will point those numbers. Then we have marginal utility. Marginal utility, you can also join it first. Say, join it. So you will not be confused with both the points of total and marginal utility. So this is your total utility. आपने कुछ नहीं किया है, वही स्केड्यूल के पॉइंट्स आपने डायग्राम्स पे शो कर दिए. So this is your total utility, which is increasing at decreasing rate, then it becomes maximum and then it falls. वही बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर आपको डायग्राम पे भी डिपिक्ट होगी. Now we have marginal utility. Marginal utility at first unit of consumption of the commodity was 10. Second पे आपकी marginal utility it was 8. Take it here, 8. Third पे it was 6. Then it becomes 2. Then it becomes 0. Then it became negative. Negative है तो 0 से नीचे होगा. So we don't mention over here, but जब भी हम इस point से नीचे चले जाए, it means हम negative point पर है. So here it was -2 ना, so we are taking -2 here. Then join these points. After joining these points, you will get the marginal utility, and it is negative over here. See, when total utility is maximum, marginal utility is 0. You can clearly show it with the help of diagram also. देखिए, जो आपका टेबल था वही हमने डायग्राम पे भी डिपिक्ट किया. हमने सबसे पहले क्या किया? We have taken the quantity of commodity on the x-axis and y-axis पे हमने marginal utility और total utility ले लिया. Then we have just pointed the same जो भी point थे हमारे टेबल के वो हमने same point कर दिए कहाँ पर? डायग्राम पे. Now we have the total utility which increases at decreasing rate. It attains maximum point, then it falls. And marginal utility, why it is increasing at decreasing rate? Because marginal utility is falling continuously. You can depict it here. Okay. Then when it becomes maximum, marginal utility becomes 0. You can show it here. When it is maximum, this maximum point is called the point of satiety or satiation point. Point of satiation, जहां पर हमारी marginal utility maximum होती है. Okay, so marginal utility is maximum. Total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. Then total utility falls. If we consume more, total utility will fall and marginal utility will become negative. Marginal utility is negative. That's why total utility is falling. So this is the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. If you are asked that show the relationship between marginal utility and total utility, you can depict it with the help of schedule and diagram as well. Sometimes it is asked show it with the help of schedule only, and sometimes it is asked to show it with the help of diagram. And sometimes कुछ भी question examiner आपको नहीं पूछता तो आप किसी भी help से table या schedule से of course अपनी diagram की help से आप show कर सकते हैं both the possibilities I have shown you. Now, after this, we come forward with the cardinal utility approach. So we have discussed what is utility, what is total utility, what is marginal utility. We have discussed their relationship also. Now we have a very important law of cardinal utility approach, which is law of diminishing marginal utility. After we will discuss it with the help of a PPT, but before discussing it, I will share an example with you. So let's start that law with an example. Okay. Now see, if you are very thirsty and you come home, you just take a glass of water and drink it. जैसे ही आप वो पानी का गिलास पीते हैं, it is very common with all of us कि हमें पता ही नहीं चलता कि वो पहला गिलास ऑफ पानी कहाँ गया, है ना? इट इज वेरी कॉमन थिंग कि हमें बहुत प्यास लगी है, हमने जैसे ही वो पहला गिलास पानी का पिया और पता ही नहीं चला कहाँ चला गया. देन वी टेक अनदर वन और फिर हम फिर से पीते हैं. वो फर्स्ट ग्लास का कंजम्पशन आपने किया और उस जो सेकंड ग्लास का कंजम्पशन किया उसमें जरा सेटिस्फेक्शन में ना बहुत अंतर होता है. Now we have discussed so far the utility, marginal utility and total utility. Now we will continue our cardinal utility approach with the law of diminishing marginal utility. But before discussing that law, I will share an example with you. Try to understand it. अगर हम इतनी गर्मी के दौरान कभी भी जब बाहर से घर में आते हैं, सो वी फील थर्स्टी यूजुअली, तो हम क्या करते हैं, वी टेक अ ग्लास ऑफ वाटर एंड जस्ट ड्रिंक इट. जैसे ही हम वो ग्लास ऑफ वाटर पीते हैं, वी फील अ सेंस ऑफ सेटिस्फेक्शन. ओके, हमें तो कई बार पता ही नहीं चलता वो ग्लास ऑफ वाटर कहाँ चला गया. हमें बिल्कुल, वी नीड अनदर ग्लास ऑफ वाटर यूजुअली. सो हम एक और ग्लास ऑफ वाटर लेते हैं और फिर से उसे पीते हैं. So, but if we compare it, पहला गिलास ऑफ वाटर एंड सेकेंड ग्लास ऑफ वाटर, अगर आप उसको कंपेयर करें तो दोनों की सेटिस्फेक्शन बहुत अलग होती है. There is a difference between the satisfaction we got from the consumption of both the glass of water. Okay, पहला ग्लास ऑफ वाटर हमें सबसे ज्यादा सेटिस्फेक्शन देता है, सेकेंड ग्लास ऑफ वाटर भी सेटिस्फेक्शन देता है, बट इफ वी कंपेयर इट विद द फर्स्ट वन, वो कम होता है. Then we take the third glass of water, we drink it, उसमें सेटिस्फेक्शन और कम हो गया होता है, एंड देन वी स्टॉप द कंजम्पशन. अब हम और पानी नहीं पी सकते. इट मींस जैसे ही आप कंजम्पशन करते हैं, तो फर्स्ट यूनिट ऑफ कंजम्पशन गिव यू द हाईएस्ट यूटिलिटी, एंड व्हेन यू कंटिन्यू द कंजम्पशन, दैट satisfaction level goes on decreasing, it falls, and it attains a point where you say no to the consumption. This is the law of diminishing marginal utility. With every additional unit of consumption, the additional utility, the marginal utility which you get, that goes on decreasing. Okay, as the same we have studied here also. As you consume more and more of the quantity, the marginal utility falls, it becomes zero and then negative. So this is the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, so let's discuss that law with the help of PPT, the PowerPoint presentation. A topic of discussion, that is consumer behavior. So now we are at the law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility states that as more and more standard units of a commodity are continuously consumed, marginal utility derived from every additional unit must decline. Okay, the same thing. जैसे ही हम एक standard unit, ऐसा नहीं कि अगर if we are talking about tea, so we will take the cup of tea. No, we will not take the spoon of tea. Okay, always take a standard unit of the commodity. When we take the standard unit of commodity, the consumption of it, if we consume it continuously, the marginal utility which we gain from that consumption, it goes on falling, it goes on diminishing. So it decreases and finally attains zero. It becomes zero. So it is also called the fundamental law of satisfaction or fundamental psychological law. Now we have assumptions of the law. What are the assumptions of the law? First is consumer is assumed to be rational. So the assumptions of the law are, first is consumer is assumed to be rational. Consumer rational hai. Now who is the rational consumer? Rational consumer is the one who wants to maximize his satisfaction. एक ऐसा कंज्यूमर जो कंजम्पशन करता है किसके लिए? टू मैक्सिमाइज हिज सेटिस्फैक्शन. उसका एक ही गोल होता है, टू मैक्सिमाइज हिज सेटिस्फैक्शन. दैट कंज्यूमर इज रैशनल consumer. And in economics, we always take the consumer as rational. Second is utility of every commodity can be measured in terms of cardinal numbers. I have also already discussed with you that the utility, according to the cardinal utility approach, the utility should be measured in numbers. वो हम numbers में measure कर सकते हैं, 1, 2, 3 utils. Okay. Then we have marginal utility of money. Marginal utility of money is constant. Now, what is marginal utility of money? When you spend the money of goods and services, you attain a satisfaction. Okay, अगर हम 100 rupees spend कर रहे हैं किसी भी consumption के लिए goods and services की, तो of course हम 100 rupees हमें किसी ना किसी तरह का satisfaction दे रहा है. तो वो उस money की उस पैसे की marginal utility होती है. That is called marginal utility of money. And we assume the marginal utility of money be constant. क्योंकि अगर marginal utility of money constant नहीं रहा, हम stable equilibrium gain नहीं कर पाएंगे. Therefore, the marginal utility of money which we get from when we spend the amount, the money we have on the consumption of goods and services, we assume that marginal utility to be constant. Fourth is only standard unit of commodity are consumed. ये भी मैंने ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर दिया है कि हम हमेशा स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट ऑफ कमोडिटी ही कंज्यूम करते हैं. ओके. नेक्स्ट इज कंजम्पशन ऑफ द कमोडिटी इज कंटिन्यूअस. ऐसा नहीं है. This is also very important that when we consume goods and services, it should be in the continuous form. We cannot consume one commodity today and another after 3 hours or tomorrow. No, the consumption of the commodity should be continuous, and then also only we will be able to justify the law of diminishing marginal utility. So for this law we have these assumptions that consumer should be rational, every commodity can be measured in terms of cardinal numbers, marginal utility of money is constant, only standard unit of commodity are consumed, and the consumption of the commodity should be continuous one. Okay. The next is exceptions of the law. अब कुछ ऐसे exceptions हैं जहां पर the law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work, जहां पर हमारा law work नहीं करता. So first, like stamps, coins, painting, maybe some people have a hobby of collecting some articles like stamps या coins, और जितना ही इनका ये जो consumption है, ये जितना ज्यादा करेंगे इतनी ही उनकी यूटिलिटी क्या होगी, बढ़ेगी. तो ऑफ कोर्स यहाँ पर हमारा लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी वर्क नहीं करता है. That's why it is called the exception of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay. Sometimes we have a hobby of reading books. ओके. हम जितनी ज्यादा जिनको जो रीडर्स होते हैं ना, जिनको बहुत ज्यादा पसंद है रीडिंग करना, वो जितनी ज्यादा बुक्स रीड करेंगे उतनी उनकी क्यूरियोसिटी बढ़ती है. ओके. तो वहां पर लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी वर्क नहीं करता. तो वी कैन से इन टर्म्स ऑफ सम हॉबीज द लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी डजंट वर्क. द लॉ मे नॉट अप्लाई व्हेन इट कम्स टू अ ब्यूटीफुल सीनिक व्यू. कुछ ऐसी चीजें जैसे हम म्यूजिक को सुनते हैं, हम मूवीज देखते हैं, या फिर किसी ब्यूटीफुल नेचर का लुफ्त उठाते हैं, उनको हम व्यू को एंजॉय करते हैं. दैट एंजॉयमेंट, दैट सेटिस्फैक्शन कैन नॉट बी मेजर्ड. तो उसको भी दैट आल्सो कम अंडर द एक्सेप्शंस ऑफ द लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. दैट इज आल्सो द area where the law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work. Now, the third one is a miser is not a good subject of this law. Okay, एक ऐसा इंसान जो miser है, तो वो जितनी भी accumulation करेगा ना wealth की, जितनी भी wealth accumulate करेगा, उतना ही उसके लिए कम होगा. He always wants more. Okay, so for him the law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work. इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं that our consumer should be the rational one. His only goal should be the rationalization of its consumption. Means satisfaction को maximize करना ही उसका sole aim होना चाहिए. That's why we take that as an assumption. So here these are exceptions of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, so now we will continue with the cardinal utility approach. Utility, total utility, law of diminishing marginal utility, its assumptions and exceptions. Now we have the cardinal utility approach. Finally, we have the approach how the consumer attains equilibrium under cardinal utility approach. So we have two approaches here, cardinal and ordinal. So we are doing cardinal approach first. Cardinal approach के अंदर भी हमारे पास one commodity approach है और two commodity approach. So let's do the one commodity case first. So we have वन कमोडिटी, जब एक कंज्यूमर सिर्फ एक ही कमोडिटी कंज्यूम करता है तो वो कब इक्विलिब्रियम अटेन करेगा? He will attain equilibrium when marginal utility for X, which is the marginal utility, should be equal to the price of the commodity. Okay, the money worth of the marginal utility should be equal to the price of the product. देखिए, अगर हम satisfaction gain कर रहे हैं as a consumer, we are gaining satisfaction, so we are also paying something. Okay, जब हमें satisfaction मिल रहा है तो consumption of goods and services के बदले we are also giving something, that is, so the consumer will be at equilibrium when its price is equal to the money worth of the marginal utility. Us marginal utility which we are getting from the consumption of that product, money worth of it should be equal to the price of the commodity. Now take a schedule. First we have units of consumption. Then we have price of the good, that is Px. Then we have marginal utility of X. Okay. Then we have money worth of marginal utility, which is when we take one util, जो हम utility को measure करते हैं in case of in terms of utils, we take one util at 1 rupee here. Okay. So we will divide it by 1. And we will see the difference of price and money worth of marginal utility. Now let's start unit of consumption 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Say the price of the commodity is 10 rupees. So price तो 10 है, तो हर consumption पे price तो 10 ही रहेगा. Therefore price will be constant. Price हर commodity की consumption पे 10 ही रहेगा. Okay. So price of the product is 10. Therefore we have taken 10 in all the successive consumption units. Then marginal utility for X. Marginal utility, take it is at 20. Then of course we know that marginal utility जैसे जैसे हम consumption करेंगे क्या होगा? Marginal utility fall करेगी. So 20 and then 15, then 10, then 4, then it becomes 0 now. So it becomes 0, then it becomes negative. We already know this, that how the marginal utility works. It falls with the consumption of good commodity, it becomes 0 and then it becomes negative. Okay, so now here we have taken one utility is equal to, so we will divide it by 1. Marginal utility will be divided by 1. To take it money worth, मैं बोल रहे ना money worth तब करते हैं जब हम इसको divide करेंगे with the rupees. So of course ये वही आएगा because it is divided by 10. It will be 20, then 16, then 10, then 4, then 0, and then minus 2. Now take the difference of price and marginal utility of इसका जब हम difference लें तो 20 minus 10 will be 10. Okay, here the difference is 6. Here the difference is 10 minus 10, 0. हम price से minus कर रहे हैं इसको marginal utility. Money worth of marginal utility को हम price से minus करेंगे, we will get a difference. So 20 minus 10 is 10, then 16 minus 10 is 6, 10 minus 10 is 0, 4 minus 10 is equal to minus 6, then it is minus 10 and then it is minus 12. It means where this condition is satisfying. ये condition कहाँ satisfy हो रही है? Where the money worth of marginal utility is equal to the price of the commodity. You see here. when the consumer consumes 3 units of the commodity and the price is 10, the money worth of marginal utility is also 10. It is also 10, and the difference between both is 0. It means जब marginal utility और price बराबर होंगे, they are equal. In one commodity case, the consumer is on equilibrium position. वो अपने equilibrium position attain कर लेता है. After that, we see that the difference becomes negative. ये negative हो जाएगा और इससे पहले ये positive था. अब यहाँ पर अगर हम देखें, here marginal utility of X is greater than price of X. देखिए यहाँ पे प्राइस कितना था 10 और फिर 10, बट मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी हमें कितनी मिल रही थी 20 and 16, which was greater than the price. 10 से ज्यादा थी ना, that is 10 and 20, 10 and 16. Therefore क्योंकि यहाँ पर हमें यूटिलिटी जो सेटिस्फेक्शन है वो ज्यादा मिल रही है, क्योंकि पहले हम कितना प्राइस पे कर रहे थे 10 रुपीज, यूटिलिटी कितनी मिल रही है मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी 20. देन हमने एक और कंजम्पशन किया, उसमें हमने कितना प्राइस पे किया 10 अगेन, एंड वी गेट द यूटिलिटी, द एडिशनल यूटिलिटी इट इज 16. स्टिल इट इज मोर देन द प्राइस पेड. तो यहाँ पर हमारी मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी प्राइस से ज्यादा है, इसीलिए कंज्यूमर जो है कंज्यूम करता जाएगा और वो अपनी कंजम्पशन को कंटिन्यू रखेगा. यहाँ पर here the marginal utility becomes equals to the price. मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी और प्राइस बराबर हो गई. अब देखिए एक रैशनल कंज्यूमर क्यों कंज्यूम करता है, फॉर द सेटिस्फेक्शन ऑफ हिज वांट, ओके, फॉर गेनिंग द मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फेक्शन. ओके, तो यहाँ पर जब उस प्राइस जो पे कर रहा है और जो मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी उसको मिल रही है दोनों बराबर हैं, तो यहाँ पर वो अपनी कंजम्पशन जो है वो बंद करते. व्हाई? बिकॉज अब जो प्राइस वो पे कर रहा है और जो यूटिलिटी उसे मिल रही है वो दोनों बराबर हैं, तो ऑफ कोर्स वो इससे आगे नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि लेस द प्राइस, इसके आगे प्राइस 10 होगा और मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी फॉल करता जा रहा है. सो अ रैशनल कंज्यूमर विल नॉट गो अहेड, वो आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा. Why? Because he will consume at the point till जहां तक उसका price of the price paid for the commodity and marginal utility which he is getting both are equal. Okay, so this is the equilibrium case in one commodity case according to the cardinal utility approach of consumers equilibrium. So we have next the two commodity case, because in general you see learners, in general हम एक ही commodity तो नहीं consume करते ना, we consume more than one commodity generally. Okay, so we cannot see that one commodity case will be sufficient for us. No, because generally we consume more than one. So we have two commodity case also here. Two commodity case. In two commodity case, so first let's see the equilibrium point. How we consume, how we attain equilibrium here. The marginal utility of X divided by price of X should be equal to marginal utility of Y by price of Y, and this should be equal to the marginal utility of money. This is the condition for the two commodity case, because we are here taking two commodities. पहले हमारे पास एक ही commodity थी तो हमने सिर्फ X को लिया था. अब हमारे पास two commodity case है तो we are taking here for example two commodities X and Y. दो commodities लेंगे तो दोनों commodity का price, marginal utility and price ratio should be equal to each other. We know that marginal utility of money हम constant लेते हैं, therefore these both should be equal to each other to attain equilibrium. Okay, so we have certain points of price for X We have certain price of Y in the market. We have marginal utility for Y. We have marginal utility for X. And with this, we have an income for the consumer also. इनके साथ साथ of course market में तो price pay करेगा, जितनी भी commodities consume करेगा हमारा customer, जो भी consumer है, वो जितनी भी commodities consume करेगा, that will depending on the income he is getting. उसकी जो income होगी उसके basis पर और prices को देखते हुए, see usually we see अगर किसी की ज्यादा income है तो वो ज्यादा expensive goods को purchase कर सकते हैं. Why? Because their income level is more. And if the income level is less, तो हमारा जो consumption होता है वो भी low prices goods के लिए होता है. Why? Because we have to balance the prices of goods and services with the income of the consumer. Therefore, given the income of the consumer and the prices of goods and services, when this ratio becomes equal, the marginal utility and price ratio of both the commodities or say many commodities, यहाँ अगर n commodities भी हो, मतलब जितनी भी x, y, z, if we take z also, so mu x by px should be equal to mu y by py should be equal to mu z by pz. मतलब हम जितनी भी commodities consume करते हैं उनको सबको ये ratio जो है वो equilibrium पे होना चाहिए. Only then we will get equilibrium in the two commodity case or more than two commodities. Yes,
ma'am, एक question आ रहा है.
Yes, sir.
What is the level of total utility when marginal utility is zero?
When marginal utility is zero, we have already done that. जब भी हमारी marginal utility zero होती है, total utility is maximum. अगर revise करने के लिए diagram मैं दोबारा बना देती हूँ. देखिए हमने total utility बनाया था and marginal utility बनाया था. So when marginal utility is zero, total utility is maximum, and this is also called the satiety point. Satiation point भी कहते हैं when total utility is maximum and marginal utility is zero. Is this clear? Okay.
Then one more question is there.
Yes, sir.
State the law of diminishing marginal utility and what are the exceptions of this law?
Sir, we have discussed it with the help of the PPT just now, that the law of diminishing marginal utility state, see Lana, with the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as we consume more and more units of a good, its marginal utility derived goes on diminishing. जितना भी हम एक good को consume करते हैं, if we see this is the quantity and this is the marginal utility on both the axes, then marginal utility will fall. This is the marginal utility. Marginal utility जितना हम अपनी consumption को बढ़ाएंगे, उतना हमारी marginal utility fall करती जाएगी. So as we increase the consumption of a commodity, the marginal utility derived from that consumption will goes on falling. This is the law of diminishing marginal utility. Then exception of the law is अगर कोई भी hobbies हैं, and if we have a hobby of say collecting of stamps or reading books or going for an exercise, so वो जो हमें satisfaction मिलती है, हम जितना वो उस commodity का consumption ज़्यादा करेंगे या जितना हम वो ज़्यादा consume करेंगे, हमारी satisfaction उतनी ही ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी. So इस cases में, ऐसे cases में हमारा law of diminishing marginal utility work नहीं करता है. Okay, और या फिर addictions हो, sort of addictions, if someone is addicted to smoking, so वो जितना smoke करेगा उतनी ज़्यादा उसकी satisfaction बढ़ेगी. It will not fall. So that their law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work. So exceptions of the law are hobbies, addiction, or certain behavior when the consumer is not rational. So that these are the exceptions of the law, and this is the law when we consume more and more units of a commodity, its marginal utility which we are getting, it goes on falling. That's it. Okay, sir. We are taking a 5 minutes break now. Thank you.
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। स्वयं बने, हम
So welcome back, learners, after the refreshing break of 5 minutes. Now we shall continue with the two commodity case. Okay, so we will explain this two commodity case with the help of a table. So here the marginal utility of X, and because we are taking two commodity, we will take the marginal utility of Y also. Okay. So with the consumption of units of the commodity, we have the marginal utility of X and marginal utility of Y. Okay. But before doing it, let's assume the income of the consumer. Because as we have discussed, that income of the consumer and prices of the goods and services play a very important role, very vital role in attaining the equilibrium. Why? Because consumer have to decide that which commodity he will purchase based on the income of his income, the income of the consumer, and the prices of goods and services. So let's assume the income of the consumer. We always denote income with the capital Y in economics. So let's assume the income of the consumer is rupees 60. and the price of X and price of Y, the price of X as rupees 1 and price of Y rupees 1. Okay, for the sake of for the simplification, हम assume कर रहे हैं that income given the income of the consumer, कोई भी income हो, for example 60 है, यहाँ पर prices of goods and services जो हमारी X and Y है, उनके prices 1 and 1 है. Okay, now the units we will consume is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the marginal utility of X, say it is 25, 20, 15, 10 and 0, and the marginal utility which we get from the consumption of Y, it is say 30. At first unit it is 30, then it becomes, as we know, the marginal utility क्या होगी? As we consume more and more units of a product, marginal utility falls. So it will become 26, then say it will become 15, then 2 and then 0. Now you will see one thing, that the margin, as we consume more and more units of the commodity, the marginal utility which we derive from the consumption of both the goods goes on falling. This is the law of diminishing marginal utility. It means the law of diminishing marginal utility holds here. Okay. So at the first unit of consumption, हमारी marginal utility for Y is 30 and marginal utility for X is 25. At the second unit, the marginal utility of X is 20 and marginal utility of Y is 26. Now see the third unit, and when we consume the 3 units of X and 3 units of Y, the marginal utility we get is 15 of X and 15 of Y. So we can clearly see that the consumer is, yes sir,
आपका वीडियो नहीं दिख रहा है.
बोर्ड क्लियर नहीं है.
बोर्ड नहीं क्लियर है. अगर पावर पॉइंट देख लीजिए, अगर वहां से.
सर एक्चुअली मुझे यही करवाना है, इसके बाद पावर पॉइंट यूज कर लूंगी.
ठीक है, चलिए.
Okay. So as we see, when we consume 3 units of the this commodity, we get the marginal utility of X is 15 and the marginal utility of Y is also 15. When the marginal utility of both the products X and Y becomes equal, given the prices of the goods, which is 1 for commodity X and 1 for commodity Y. This is the point of equilibrium in two commodity case. When we consume 3 units of X and 3 units of Y, means if the price of commodity X is 1 and we are consuming 3 units, it means 3 rupees spent किए हैं consumer ने. But if the price of Y is 1 and we are consuming 3 units of it also, the consumer has paid 3 rupees for commodity X also. It means total उसने कितना पे किया है? 6 rupees. So 6 rupees pay करने से the maximum satisfaction he got is 25. First consumption पे उसको क्या मिला? Marginal utility for X was 25. Then marginal utility of Y is 30. Consumption of second commodity, the marginal utility of X is 20. Marginal utility of Y is 26. Then he consumed the third unit. Then the marginal utility of X is 15 and marginal utility of Y is also 15. When we add all these marginal utilities, we get the total utility, which is equal to 131. So this is the total utility he is getting after consuming 3 units of commodity X and 3 units of commodity Y. Therefore, the consumer in the two commodity case is in equilibrium when he consumes 3 unit of X and 3 unit of Y. Because here the marginal utility is 15 for X and 15 for Y also. Is this clear? So with this, we have done the cardinal utility approach. The consumer get the equilibrium in one commodity case and two commodity case also. We have two cases here in cardinal utility approach, one commodity case and two commodity case, both we have discussed so far. So now we come with the view that we have two approaches of consumer's equilibrium, cardinal utility approach and ordinal utility approach. So if we have done the consumer's equilibrium with the cardinal utility approach, why we need ordinal utility approach? Okay, उसकी need ही क्या थी? So it means cardinal utility में कहीं ना कहीं कुछ loopholes, कुछ limitations ऐसे रह गए जिसकी वजह से हमें ordinal utility approach की जरूरत पड़ी. Okay, so cardinal utility approach की सबसे बड़ी limitation is this, that it says we can measure the utility in terms of number. जो भी हम satisfaction gain करते हैं उसे हम numbers में measure कर सकते हैं. For example, if we see मतलब क्या कभी भी हम ऐसा बोलते हैं that by the consumption of a cup of tea we get 3 utils of utility? Okay. No, usually we don't say that. Why? Because we cannot actually measure the satisfaction we get. जो भी satisfaction हमें मिलती है हम उसे measure नहीं कर सकते. हाँ, हम ऐसा जरूर कह सकते हैं based on the taste and preferences of any individual that a cup of tea gives me more satisfaction than a cup of coffee. So we can compare the satisfaction we get from the consumption of two goods with the help of the taste and preferences of an individual. So yes, we can compare them, we can rank them first or second, but we cannot, in actual numbers, we cannot calculate them. Therefore, the limitation of cardinal utility approach was its measurement with in the quantitative terms. So we cannot measure the utility in terms of number. Therefore, we have ordinal approach now. So what does the ordinal approach says? Ordinal approach says that the consumer is rational. Yes, he wants to maximize his satisfaction, but the utility cannot be measured in terms of numbers, but we can rank the preferences. हम अपनी preferences को rank कर सकते हैं, हम compare कर सकते हैं, but हम utility को कभी भी in terms of numbers measure नहीं कर सकते. Okay, so this ordinal approach was given by J.R. Hicks. Okay, the Professor J.R. Hicks has given the ordinal approach of consumer's equilibrium. Okay, so the basis of this approach is indifference curve. Indifference curve, what is indifference curve? Indifference curve is a locus of all the points of two commodities which give the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Indifference curve एक ऐसा कर्व है जिसपे हम बहुत से कॉम्बिनेशन, दो प्रोडक्ट्स के, टू कमोडिटीज के कंजम्पशन के बहुत से कॉम्बिनेशन शो करते हैं और हर एक कॉम्बिनेशन आपको सेम लेवल ऑफ यूटिलिटी, सेम लेवल ऑफ सेटिस्फेक्शन प्रोवाइड करता है. ओके, सो लेट्स सी हाउ वी draw the indifference curve. So this is the indifference curve. Okay, we have usually many combination of two goods. Say it is good 1 and this is good 2. Okay, so if we have A, B, C, the different combinations, these different combinations, if we consume this much of good 2 and this much of good 1, it will give the satisfaction certain satisfaction, that will be equal to the point B also. Okay, so indifference curve, it is the locus of all the points which give the same satisfaction to the consumer. After consuming both the goods, the consumer will get the same level of satisfaction. So we have some properties of indifference curve. Let's see it with the help of a PPT. That will clear the concept of indifference curve. We have already done this, the law of diminishing marginal utility, and now we have the properties of indifference curve. This is the indifference curve I have shown you. Now see this indifference curve, it is negatively sloped and it is convex to origin. So let's see the properties one by one. First property of indifference curve is that an indifference curve has negative slope and it slopes from downwards from left to right. Okay, indifference curve की negative slope होती है. Why? Because we take two commodities, commodity 1 and commodity 2. Here we are taking oranges and mangoes. Okay, see, हर एक individual की we have a constraint, that is the income of the consumer. हर एक consumer की income fixed है, therefore he has to divide his income in these two commodities. So when he increase the consumption of one commodity, he has to decrease the consumption of other. एक की commodity अगर वो consumption बढ़ाएगा तो दूसरे की commodity consumption उसको कम करनी पड़ेगी. Why? Because income is fixed. उसके पास fixed level of income ही है जो वो दोनों की consumption, दोनों commodities की consumption के लिए use करेगा. Okay. Therefore, given the income of the consumer and prices of the goods and services, the consumer will consume one commodity. If he increase the consumption of one commodity, he has to decrease the consumption of other. Therefore, the indifference curve has a negative slope. इसीलिए हमारा जो indifference curve है उसकी एक negative slope है, वो नीचे की तरफ slope करता है, downward slope है from left to right. The second property with it is indifference curve is always convex to the origin. Now it is always convex to the origin. Why? Because the marginal rate of substitution, it goes on diminishing as we go along the indifference curve. The marginal rate of substitution goes on diminishing. See, if you see this indifference curve from A to B, this sacrifice of oranges is more to gain 2 units of mangoes. Then if we see the point B, here the sacrifice, it has fallen, and price at the point C, it has fallen more. So जैसे जैसे we have moved from one point to another point, we can see the sacrifice of oranges for mangoes, it is decreasing. So this is the marginal rate of substitution, and I will show you here with the help of that whiteboard also that how the marginal rate of substitution falls, and because of this marginal rate of substitution, the falling marginal rate of substitution, the indifference curve has a convex shape and it is convex to the origin. So we have two properties here, that indifference curve has a negative slope and indifference curve is always convex to the origin. Negative slope इसलिए है क्योंकि अगर हम एक commodity की consumption बढ़ाएंगे तो दूसरी commodity की consumption कम करनी पड़ेगी. Why? Because the income is constant. Okay, and the indifference curve is convex to origin because of the marginal rate of substitution. So the next property is two indifference curves can never intersect each other. Say we said that one indifference curve show a certain level of satisfaction and the other indifference curve, of course, show the another level of satisfaction. But when the two indifference curves intersect, it means both the indifference curve show the same satisfaction at a point. Here the point is A. At B we have some other level of satisfaction. At C another level of satisfaction. But at A we are getting the same level of satisfaction. So this could not be possible. Okay, therefore the two indifference curves can never intersect each other. वो कभी भी एक दूसरे को काट नहीं सकते. एक parallel difference से ही indifference curve को show किया जाता है. See, here we have a indifference map. देखिए, ये जो indifference map है, इसमें we can see the indifference curve 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are all depicted at a certain difference. क्यों? Because they cannot intersect each other. Because जितना indifference curve आपका higher होगा, इतनी ज़्यादा satisfaction मिलेगी. So the higher indifference curve represents the higher satisfaction, and it is also the fourth property of indifference curve, that the higher indifference curve show the higher satisfaction, and if the we have a lower indifference curve, then the lower indifference curve represents the lower satisfaction. Now here if we compare indifference curve 1 with indifference curve 2, we see the more satisfaction we get is at indifference curve 2. Why? Because indifference curve 2 is higher than the indifference curve 1. Okay, and if we see indifference curve 3 is more higher than 1 and 2. It means indifference curve 3 is giving us more satisfaction than indifference curve 1 and indifference curve 2. So it means that higher indifference curve represents the higher satisfaction and lower indifference curve represents the lower satisfaction, less satisfaction we can say. Okay, so the fifth one is indifference curve touches neither axis, x or y axis. Okay, neither it touches the x axis nor it touches the y axis. देखिए हमारा indifference curve, if we see here, see our indifference curve is not touching either the axis. किसी भी axis को वो touch नहीं कर रहा. Why? Because अगर वो किसी भी axis को touch करेगा, see here, if it touch the y-axis as it is shown in the diagram, so it means it is here shown that the consumer, he is consuming 10 units of oranges and 0 of apples at point A. So when he consumes more of apples and with the oranges, he will get the same satisfaction, because we know that indifference curve depicts the same satisfaction level of the consumer. जितना भी वो consume करें दोनों bundles के बीच में, उनको same satisfaction मिलनी चाहिए to the consumer. This is not possible in case A. Why? Because he is only consuming oranges here. He is not consuming apples. तो जब वो apples को consume ही नहीं कर रहा, तो उसको same satisfaction level कैसे मिल सकता है when he consumes apples? Okay? Therefore, हमारा indifference curve कभी भी ना ही y-axis और ना ही x-axis को touch करता है. Because अगर हम axis को touch करते हैं, it means a certain level of consumption is there of one commodity, but for the other commodity we are consuming 0, which is not possible, which will not give us the same level of satisfaction throughout the indifference curve. इसीलिए indifference curve ना ही हमारी x-axis को touch करता है और ना ही y-axis को. Okay, so this is the fifth property of indifference curve, that indifference curve touches neither x-axis nor y-axis. Okay, so let's revise the properties of indifference curve, because it is very important concept and it is often asked in the examinations also. So the properties of indifference curve, the first property, indifference curve has a negative slope and it slope downwards from left to right. Indifference, second is indifference curve is always convex to the origin. कभी भी आप इसको concave नहीं बनाएंगे, ना ही straight line बनाएंगे. It will be convex to the origin always. Second is, the next is two indifference curves never intersect each other. दो indifference curve आपस में कभी भी intersect नहीं करेंगे. Why? Because if they intersect, it means they are meeting at a certain point, and it will depict that at a certain point they will have the same level of satisfaction, which is not possible in case of indifference curve. Fourth property is higher the indifference curve, it represents higher satisfaction. Okay, as we can see, this is the indifference map. This is also asked sometimes that what is indifference map? So indifference map, it is nothing but a graphic representation of many indifference curves. Okay, जब हम बहुत सारे indifference curve को graphic represent देते हैं, that is the indifference map. Likewise, we are showing here also indifference curve 1, indifference curve 2, indifference curve 3, and indifference curve 4. And here it represents that higher indifference curve represents higher satisfaction. The fifth property is that indifference curve touches neither x-axis nor y-axis. ना ही वो x-axis को touch करता है, ना ही y-axis को. Okay. So with this, we have discussed the properties of indifference curve. Now let's move forward. I will again show you these indifference curve properties here also with the help of the board. Okay. Let's, for example, take a table. With the help of schedule, we will show how indifference curve is drawn. We have certain combinations of consumption of two commodities. Say, for example, combination A, B, C, and D. These are the combinations we are having. So here, take apples. The number of apples we are consuming. And here we are taking number of oranges. Okay. Number of apples, say 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Number of oranges, say it is 10, 7, 5, and 4. This is the combination we are having. So each the combination, number 1 A जो हमारा combination है, number 2 जो B combination है, number 3 is the C combination, and number 4 is the D combination. It is giving the same level of satisfaction to the consumer when he consumes both the goods. At A, he is consuming 1 unit of apple and 10 units of oranges. At B, it is consuming, he is consuming 2 units of apples and 7 units of oranges. At C, he is consuming 3 units of apples and 5 units of oranges. And D, he is consuming 4 units of apples and 4 units of oranges. So this is the indifference curve. With the indifference curve, we have another concept here, which is called the budget line. Given the budget, we all have a budget. We prepare a budget given the prices of goods and services and income of a consumer. Based on our income and the price of goods and services, we prepare a budget. Therefore, a budget line shows all the combinations we have, which we can achieve with the help of our income and the prices of given goods and services. So this is the budget line. AB here is the budget line. This is good 1. And this is good 2. On x-axis, we are depicting good 2. So this is our budget line. This shows all the possible combinations we have on the basis of the prices of goods and services and the income of the consumer. Our indifference curve is tangent to this budget line. That point is called equilibrium point. Here E depicts the equilibrium where the indifference curve, कोई भी indifference curve होगा. We have indifference curve 2 here. So the indifference curve is here. We have indifference curve 1, indifference curve 2 and indifference curve 3. But the equilibrium point is this. E point is equilibrium point where the indifference curve is tangent to the budget line.